Hello, welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Angel. Thank you for stopping, thank you for clicking, and thank you for watching. Yeah, I'm a little bit apprehensive today about making this video, although I really want to talk about the subject I'm going to talk about today. I was kind of debating, should I divulge this practice of mine that I have? But you know, the details are in the title. And if this is not your bag, then, you're very welcome to click away now, or, and obviously if it's not your bag, you probably won't be watching anyway. So, let's do this. Okay, so as you can see from the title, this is all about my blood moon practice. Yeah, I started my blood moon practice, let's have a think here, maybe like back in February this year. And I don't even know where I got the idea from, to be honest. I don't remember seeing anything that kind of, struck a chord, but it just suddenly popped into my brain. And yeah, I think I'm gonna, explain a bit more as we go along. But I'm gonna start first of all anyway, by saying that I have a blood moon altar, or a mini altar on my main altar for my blood moon practice. And if I can work out how to, I'm going to pop a picture in here now. And if I wasn't clever enough, then there is no picture and you won't be able to see it. But I'm going to show you some of the items on my blood moon altar in any case. So the first item on my blood moon altar is this, which I actually made myself. I'm not an artist by any stretch of the imagination, but I do like to, meddle in the arts and crafts. Crafts generally. This is my collaged goddess. She is rather big busted, and this is to remind myself of, which sounds, maybe a bit naff, but this is to remind me of my inner goddess, because I have difficulty embracing my, I'm going to say femininity, from the way I've grown up and from things that that have maybe happened throughout my life. I realised that I experience femininity as a weakness, and that has got to change. That came up when in some of my tarot readings when I first started my practice. Things I'd never even thought about, never even occurred to me. So yeah, I'm working on that to bring forward my feminine side and to allow my masculine side to, calm down and I'm not going to say take a back seat, but just share the driving seat, I'm going to say. So yeah, this is my my goddess to remind me of my inner goddess, which stands on my altar. Then, as you can see in front of us here, I've made some items from some air dried clay. I don't think I need to explain what this little baby is. I'm not going to say it's correct, but you know what it stands for, you know what it is. I'm quite an impulsive person, so when I get an idea in my head, I want to do it there and then, and I want to have it finished there and then. So when I made these items, I also made this, which I'm going to show you in a second. When I made this on my altar, I didn't have any paints, and once it had dried the next day, it suddenly occurred to me, I don't have any paints. How am I going to paint this? And so I thought, well, I've got nail varnish, which I'm not using, so I painted it in nail varnish. So that's typically me. I'm impulsive, I want things done there and then, and I just make things work. So that's what I did, and yeah, generally I'm the only person that sees this, so it's fine. Then I've got some crystals, which I'm going to show you in just a second. This is my very voluptuous goddess, very voluptuous. This was my this was my first item that I made out of air dried clay, and I didn't realise she was so big busted until she was finished, and I thought, wow, yeah. But same again. It's usually only me that sees it, so that's fine. So this stands on my altar, and my crystals also stand on my altar. I'm just going to go through these really quickly, and I'll put on the screen what they're for. This is, we'll start with this one. This one is red Jasper. That one's the red Jasper. Then we've got peach moonstone. We've got some rose quartz even there. That's some more Jasper there. This one is Bronsite. No, sorry, this one is Bronsite. Then we've got tiger iron, which is quite a heavy stone. This one is agate red band. This one is ox eye. I want to say it's called in English. And what's this one called? I can't remember what this one is called now. Muscovite, maybe? I think that's the word for it in English. Muscovite. So I will put on the screen somewhere or in the comments what these crystals are actually for. And this one, oh, the name is blanking. What's the name of this little beauty? I want to say bloodstone. No, it's not bloodstone. It's, oh, come on now, Angela. You know this. You know this. I'm going to say bloodstone. I think it's bloodstone. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. And if it's wrong, then I'll put the comments here somewhere. And this is moss agate, which I really enjoy because this reminds me of like a butterfly here in this stone. And this little beauty, I'm also blanking on the name, so I shall put it also somewhere here on the screen for you. As mentioned, I'll put in the comments what these what I use these for and why I have them on my blood moon altar. And obviously this one, this big beauty, is rose quartz. Beautiful piece of rose quartz here. I don't know if you can catch the flecks in this on the camera. It's beautiful. I love it. Really love it. So yeah, so I started with the journal, obviously, and obviously my blood moon practice takes place once every month. Obviously, I also made this candle holder, which I always have a red candle in, and I light this candle at the start of my blood moon cycle, and then I journal and pull some cards. And then I light it at the end of my blood moon cycle as well to, you know, signal the end of that cycle. I anoint that candle in this, which I made. It's got lots of lovely, delicious things in it. It's an oil. It smells absolutely gorgeous. I'll add on the screen some of the ingredients. Obviously, there's a lot in there. And I anoint the candle with a very small amount of oil. And this is my, what's it called? Incense holder for my blood moon mini altar on my main altar. And I think you can see what this is. There's a hole here, so the incense stick, that was a tough word, obviously goes in here and the ash falls into this bit. So yeah, again, can you guess what it's painted in? Yes, you would be correct. It was nail varnish. And I don't know if you can see there's a spiral here, which picks up this spiral here as well. So those are the things I have on my altar. My blood moon cycle for me is all about release. Releasing things that are no longer serving me, that I've been carrying with me that, you know, are just best let go of, basically. And so when I start my blood moon cycle, I have like a mini ritual whereby I sit at my altar and I anoint my candle, obviously. I light my candle and my incense, and then I basically draw some cards. Yeah, I'm going to show you some of the decks that I use for my blood moon cycle. The first one I use is this one. This is the Outgrow Yourself Oracle / Tarot. I've edged mine in black. These are the fronts. Let's move some of these over. I think these are really beautiful cards. Obviously this is a Thoth inspired, and you can use this obviously as a tarot as well. I don't. I used it just for just as an oracle, and I love the key phrases on these. I'm not going to go through the whole deck, but I'm going to go through a few of them. I love the artwork style. I love that it's so raw, and that, you know, there's lumpy and bumpy bits on these people, and you know, stubbly legs, and you know, rounded bellies, and different types of body shapes, and different colours, and you know, people being naked. Oh, I forgot to give a naked or a nudity warning. Oh, sorry, I'll put that in the comments beforehand so it flashes up to you. Sorry. But this is just, I love this oracle. I think it's beautiful. I think it's amazing. And I tend to pull one of these cards, and then I build my tarot spread around the message on the card. So yeah, so that is one of the decks that I use in my blood moon practice. That is the Outgrow Yourself Oracle, which is what, for me, my blood moon cycle is all about. It's about outgrowing the things that are no longer, you know, working for me and serving me. And I've, you know, yeah, that's for me what this is all about. So this works perfectly for that practice. The next deck I use is actually an oracle. That is the Sacred Cycles Oracle. I'm going to say what I usually say. I love this deck. Did I show you the backs? Sorry, I'm not on the ball today. I feel a bit, you know, a bit, I don't know, a bit something slow. I don't know. And I have an edge mine. That's bizarre. That's going to have to be edged soon. So this is the artwork on these ones. The colours are very beautiful. I don't find it's an intuitive read. I really need the guidebook, which is fine. The guidebook has got some amazing messages in. Same again, I really like the artwork. It's not as raw as the Outgrow Yourself oracle. However, it's very, it works for me, and it fits for me in this practice. So I really enjoy this one. I feel this would work also with the Gentle Tarot. The artwork kind of reminds me a bit of the Gentle Tarot. That's an interesting thought, to maybe pair those together. Yeah. So that's that one. This is a great, I like this card, it's fantastic. I'm going to keep this card here actually, because I'm going to show you something in a second, which is very fun. And I should have looked at this card, but I'll show you that in a second. I'll explain it in a moment. And the last deck that I use is this one, which is the Mother Tarot. This is an indie deck. And I just clicked with the artwork. It was the same again. I felt that the artwork of this really really jived with this practice for me. The guidebook is I wouldn't say that the meanings are very in depth in the guidebook. So I would say I use this more intuitively. I really enjoy this deck. It's the same again as I mentioned with the Outgrow Yourself Oracle, that, you know, there's body diversity in this one. You know, people with stubbly legs, and, you know, rounded body shapes, and, you know, I just think it's, I just really love it. I just really love it. Did I say I like the colours? Colour me happy. I love it. I think it's such a beautiful deck. I mean, this is just amazing. Antlers again, that's interesting. I never thought of that. So yeah, so that's the Mother Tarot. I don't think I showed you the backs. I mean, look at this, it's amazing. I love it, love it, love it, love it. These are the backs, and it mentions in the guidebook that you can read these if you want to. You can read these cards like directionally. you know, if depending which way they're pointing. I personally don't. I personally don't do that. But that's obviously an option for, well, I suppose pretty much any deck, really. I mean, look at that. Look how beautiful this is. It's so beautiful. It's just amazing. So yes, so those are the decks I use for this practice. And as I mentioned, I tend to pull a hey girly girl. Kitty cat says hello. I tend to pull an oracle card, and then I build my spread around that card. So it's, for me, the blood moon cycle is all about release. Now this is my blood moon journal. I'm not into fancy schmancy journals, because I've learned from my younger days, if I have something, you know, really beautiful, like, you know, book wise, journal wise, I never use it because I don't want to spoil it. And that's not what this is about for me. I want to be able to, you know, write in my book, scribble out in my book, draw very badly in my book. You know, I just want to get, I want it to be raw, and I want it to be real. Not that I'm saying that, you know, having a beautiful journal isn't real. I'm not saying that. But for me, I know that I wouldn't have the energy to make, or to, you know, to have oh, what am I trying to say? I'm explaining this very, very badly, I feel. I wouldn't have the energy to, you know, to use the pages that I've journaled and then go back to another journal and re-journal it first in a beautiful way. I personally wouldn't have the energy to do that. So for me, this works for my practice, and this is how I journal generally, and how I you know, keep my records and things like that. So this is my journal for this blood moon practice, and I wanted to draw a uterus on the front of this book, because obviously that's, you know, that's what this journal's about for me, the main focus, as it were. Yeah, and or not the uterus, yeah, the uterus, the womb, that's right, that's correct, that's the word I've used, yeah. And the same again, didn't have any paints. Did that stop me? No, it jolly well didn't. I decided to, I don't know if you can see this, I just used, you know, nail varnish. Why not? And I'm not going to say it's correct. It's clearly not correct, because, you know, I should have used this card as, as motivation and inspiration, but it's my take on it, and that's all that matters. So, you know, I think this is a great, I think it's, you know, if you want to get something done and you want to do it, do what works for you. Use whatever you've got at hand. You know, you don't have to, you know, buy fancy schmancy stuff. Just do it. Just make it work for yourself. I think it's really satisfying. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with, you know, buying proper things to do a job. You know, if that works for you, that works for you. But, you know, fake it till you make it. I quite like that expression, and this for me is faking it until I make it, kind of. Maybe not, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, this is my journal for my blood moon practice, and I did some, I don't know if you can see this, I did some like really, really basic like collage, and here's my super duper drawings. I mean, you can see how, like, I'm not going to say I'm an artistic person at all, but I enjoy it and it works for me. So that's all that matters, really. Then I also found some really fantastic quotes as well online. And I'm going to put the name of the person that wrote these quotes and poems on the screen as well for you. This one is I'm not sure who wrote this, but I use this very often in my blood moon ritual. Red is blood, blood is life, life is power, and power is mine. Then there's another one here. This is by somebody called Nikki Tajiri. I hope I said that right. Can I accept my period for what it is? Can I accept myself for who I am? Can I accept my period will never be perfect? Can I accept that I will never be perfect? Can I accept that my period is cyclical and not linear? Can I accept my life is cyclical and not linear? Can I accept my period might have a deeper meaning? Can I accept my life might have a deeper meaning? Maybe if I can accept my period without judgment, then I can accept myself without judgment. I thought that was really beautiful. So, yeah. So as I mentioned, I basically asked my cards the question. If I draw an oracle card first, or if I draw a tarot card first. What do I need to focus on this menstrual cycle? And whatever the card that I pull, whatever the answer is, then I build my spread around that message or that card. And I basically continue from there until I feel that, you know, I've thought forward some things that I maybe wasn't taking notice of, or not accepting, or not paying attention to. Yeah, or maybe just completely choosing to ignore. So, so yeah, that's pretty much my practice. And then during the blood moon cycle, I also gather some of that blood, which I add to this bottle, which sits on my blood moon altar for the cycle, the blood moon cycle. I add this to moon water that I've gathered from the previous moon cycle, and then once my blood moon cycle is finished, then I use this water to, you know, I'm gonna say give back to the earth, but I don't give it back to the earth. I give it to a specific plant that has been that I use for my ritual. So yeah, and then at the end of the cycle, as I mentioned before, I relight the candle to mark the end of the cycle. I usually revisit my journal, so at that time, yeah. And then obviously, well, not obviously, the next blood moon cycle, I tend to go back to the previous month's pages and just read through and, you know, see what came up then, and maybe what has come up this time for me as well. See if there's any reoccurring themes or messages, and if I've actually managed to release the things that came up in the previous month, and if I'm even still working towards releasing those things. So yeah, I hope that was interesting to somebody, to anybody. Yeah, I don't know what to say really more than that. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you have made it to the end, you know, why not leave a comment for me in the comment section? Is your blood moon cycle anything that you follow, or, you know, build tarot spreads around, or is it something that you've even thought about? As a bit of a sideline, I was speaking to a friend. So I'm going to say now that I'm a beginner witch from like 2020 in the broom closet. That's the first time I've said that out loud. That was actually quite liberating. I'm a witch. That was quite liberating. But I am a broom closet witch. Anyway, I have a friend, and I'm going to say she's just dating. They are just dating. She's dating a man at the moment, and she had to go and have a blood test done recently, and he asked her if she could get a vial, is it called a vial, of blood for him. that he wanted to have of hers, which I thought was, you know, I'm not particularly sure I'd give somebody a vial of my blood, to be honest. You know, I feel there's quite a bit of power in that for somebody else to, you know, to have a vial of your blood. Anywho, that's just my opinion. Anyway, so I said to her, anyway, she went for a blood test, and you know, she was bold enough to ask the person that was taking her blood if she could have a vial of her own blood. And obviously, you know, the person taking the blood was actually quite shocked and told her that in the years they had been taking blood tests from people, they had never been asked that question. And that they were unsure if they could. There shouldn't really be a problem because obviously it's her blood, but the person would have to check with their superior first before they were able to give her a vial of her blood. Anyway, so I just mentioned the fact that, you know, well, if, you know, I mean, I first obviously said, you know, why would you want to give this person this blood? You know, the person you're dating, why would you want to give them your blood? And what do they want it for? And then I mentioned, you know, if they were, you know, really wanting to give them the person they're dating the blood, why not use the blood moon cycle blood? And my friend said to me, no, he doesn't want that blood because that's unclean, he said to her, which I thought was really interesting. Which is a bit of a sideline, I understand. And, you know, there's probably people out there that do believe that, well, there is, but that think that, you know, blood moon cycle blood is unclean. But that just made me, you know, really think, and I don't know where I'm going with this story, and I don't know how I'm going to wrap it up and make sense of it, but I just thought that was very interesting. That was a real babble. Terribly sorry if you had to sit through that and it didn't make any sense. Yeah, I'm going to thank you very much for watching. Thank you for getting to the end of this. I hope it was of maybe interest and, you know, maybe had something that resonated with you. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you'd want to. That would be really nice to have you on board. Take care. Have a lovely morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are in the world. And I hope I'll see you next time. See you later, alligator.